Upcoming.
Welcome to the upcoming video games of February 2018. My name's Globku with the releases that we've decided to highlight this month. February 1st is a day of re-releases, starting with Final Fantasy XII The Zodiac Age coming to the PC. This remastered version of Final Fantasy XII has already made its way to the PS4 and has been very well received, so now PC players can experience it as well. One of the best stories of 2017 is coming to the Nintendo Switch. Night in the Woods, which is now available on PC, PS4 and Xbox One, was also very critically acclaimed last year, and in my opinion the Switch is a great platform to play that game. Also coming to the Switch is the first SteamWorld Dig game, which people liked in general, but Dig 2 was so much better that this seems like a weird time to re-release the first game. It's still a fantastic game, but if you're coming from Dig 2, you might be a bit disappointed. February 2nd brings us EA Sports UFC 3 for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. They keep building on their fighting system by adding new animations and making small adjustments to the previous game. Story mode, however, used to be pretty shallow, and it seems like it's been decently revamped, as you can now make several choices that affect your career as a professional fighter. You'll sign contracts, you'll promote yourself outside the Octagon, instead of the simple loop of train and then fight and then train and then fight like the previous game had. And of course, the online modes from the previous games have carried over to this one with Ultimate Team and online battles. Don't know if you ever heard of We Were Here, but it's a co-op puzzle game where you and a friend are in different places in the environment, but you have to collaborate through voice chat to solve puzzles. It's free to play on Steam, so if you're curious, go check it out there, it's free, because the sequel is coming out on February 2nd. We Were Here too, and it seems to share a lot with its predecessor. So try out the first game, and then if you want more, check out the second one. The following week we get the remaster of Shadow of the Colossus for PS4. This game has been fully reworked from the ground up, and there's already plenty of reviews out there which are saying exactly what everyone expected. This is Shadow of the Colossus, but it looks and plays a lot better. And that's really all we want from a remaster. Shadow of the Colossus is considered one of the greatest games of all time by so many people, so this will be awesome for those who have never played it or those who miss playing it and want to give it another go. Next up, a game from the guy who brought you Plants vs. Zombies, and it's called Octagon. Apparently IGN is the only channel with gameplay for this game, so hey, credit to IGN for this footage. But as you can see, you start off as this octopus, and all you need to do is spin left or spin right. If your tentacles touch the enemies, you will damage and kill them. As the game progresses, it gets more and more complex as you unlock different types of tentacles, each one with their unique properties, and the levels get harder and harder. You can of course customize your own octopus, buy the tentacles you want, put them in the position that you want, and anyone can play the first levels. But it gets pretty complicated, and I'd expect nothing else from the guy who brought us Plants vs. Zombies. Next up, I must be reading this wrong. Rust? Rust is coming out? I made a video about Rust back in 2014. This game's not dead, huh? It's been on early access this whole time. Open world survival games have come a long way, caveman. I don't know if this is gonna fly. An expansion for Civilization 6 is also coming on the same day. Rise and Fall is bringing new eras and events that will shape the history of your empire and of course affect gameplay strategically. There's a new loyalty system that can cause rebellion or flip control of entire cities to other factions without even using the military. They're bringing new leaders and civilizations and a lot more. This is a huge expansion for Civilization fans. And then on Friday we have the 7 Deadly Sins Knights of Britannia, which is an anime brawler based on the 7 Deadly Sins manga and anime. It has a story mode that takes you through at least the first season of the anime, though there are a couple of characters in there from season 2, so it might go a little bit into that, I don't know. And then you have a versus mode for local and online play. The cross between Minecraft and Dragon Quest is also coming to the Switch. Dragon Quest Builders is already available for PlayStation 3, 4, and Vita, and now you can also play it on the go on the Switch. The following week opens up with Dynasty Warriors 9. The king of the Musou genre is revamping the gameplay of the series with the introduction of an open world environment. An interesting step for this franchise for sure. There's also a grappling hook this time around, a dynamic weather, a day-night cycle. They're going all out with the open world stuff, and you can even customize your own hideout. There's a bunch of other systems in there as well. They're bringing out all the characters from Dynasty Warriors 8 Empires, also adding some new ones. Let's hope that all these changes are for the better. They look like they're taking risks, and this is not a franchise known for taking a lot of risks. Next up, oh my god, it's been a while since I've heard of this game, Kingdom Come Deliverance. This game's all about realism. It's an ultra-realistic RPG. It's set in an open world with real-world locations from the Czech Republic, and there was a lot of time put into investigating and reimagining this place in the 1400s. It's played from a first-person perspective, and every system in this game is based in real life. Combat techniques that were used at the time were studied and made into a battle system. The clothing has different impacts on you on defense, weight. There's a lot of attention to detail. It's like an ultra-realistic Skyrim, if you want to think about it that way. You gain skills as you perform certain actions, just like Skyrim. Like if you want to be a thief and you want to get better at lockpicking, you gotta lockpick a lot. And there are quests all over the place. It's that kind of game, just a bit more real than what we're used to. And on that same day, not only are we getting these two potentially awesome games, we're also getting this potentially awesome third game to add to the list. The Fall Part 2 Unbound. Now, the first Fall had some fun puzzles, some okay combat, general gameplay was okay, but what really set it apart was the story. It was the best story that I played back in 2014. Now, it's been 4 years, so I've been excited about a sequel, then I've forgotten all about the sequel and I've forgotten all about the game, and now I'm at the point where I need to replay the first game because I don't want to jump into the second one and feel like I'm forgetting something. I am extremely excited for this, but I'm gonna need a refresher. And after 3 games that look great, let's look at Monster Energy Supercross, the official video game, which I'd like to nominate for the worst video game name of 2018 award. We've got a serious contender here. It's a motocross game. I just included it because I wanted to make that joke. I'm sorry. Owlboy, which has received some great reviews, has been out on PC for over a year now. It's now coming to the main consoles as well. And they're also bringing the Stick of Truth to PS4 and Xbox One. Yeah, I was also surprised to see this game had only come out for PC, PlayStation 3, and Xbox 360, because it really doesn't feel that old, but apparently it is. The years have gone by. The remake of this highly influential classic JRPG is also coming out this month, Secret of Mana, which depending on where you live, you might have known it as Final Fantasy Adventure or Mystic Quest. Now the game has been fully remade in 3D with this, you know, kind of like chibi art style. And if you're into old school JRPGs, this is a great chance to see a big influence on the genre. And closing out the week, we have Fae, the 3D platformer published by EA, where you take control of this fox-like creature in the forest and help other forest creatures by guiding them with your songs to complete tasks. It seems very story-driven, but also very directionless. It's got minimal instructions, encouraging you to experiment and discover the game's systems on your own. And that's why so far this game's got this mysterious vibe to it. And on the same day, we're getting both Bayonetta 1 and 2 in a collection for the Nintendo Switch, giving a lot more people the chance to play both of these games now that we know they're making a Bayonetta 3. Now this is some of Platinum Game Studios' best work, and they're known for really good hack and slash gameplay. So this being one of the best, you're in for a treat. We open up the following week with Metal Gear Survive, the new Metal Gear game from Konami after sacking Kojima, and you know what? This game doesn't look as bad as we all initially thought. It's an open world survival, but it's got a lot of direction, a lot of story or quests. You're always working towards something. It's not that type of directionless survival game that I absolutely hate. Caveman. And at the same time, you've got a ton of silly Metal Gear tools to deal with the zombies that are just everywhere. You can put up fences, slides, all kinds of silly stuff to just play around with the AI. And Metal Gear Solid 5 was a great foundation for this open world shenanigans. They seem to be taking good advantage of that technology. It's not the Metal Gear that you want, it doesn't have the story that you want, but gameplay wise, it doesn't look that bad, to be honest. I mean, would you want them to go into Metal Gear story without Kojima? I'd say given the alternative, this is not a bad idea. The Age of Empires Definitive Edition was actually delayed, but if you watch my videos, I'm sure you remember this. It's now coming out on February 20. Stellaris has an expansion coming out called Apocalypse. Now, I don't know much about this expansion, so I apologize to the Stellaris fans. I'm sure it's gonna be great. The Switch is getting Pac-Man Championship Edition 2, which is out on PC, PS4, and Xbox One. The Switch version is coming with an exclusive 2-player local co-op mode because you can share the joy or something. And then on Friday, we have Sword Art Online Fatal Bullet, a JRPG based on the Sword Art Online anime, particularly the Gun Gale Online arc. The world of Gun Gale Online is a world where players shoot each other. So with that, this game has now become a third-person shooter RPG. You level up, you get better gear, different weapons, and you have this huge world to explore and fight bosses and all sorts of stuff. All of that comes with a story mode where your created character will interact with other characters from the show as you kind of make your own story. The 23rd also brings us Past Cure, which is a story-driven thriller where you follow the struggle of a broken man. There's a lot of weird stuff happening in this world, supernatural stuff that is probably happening inside your mind as this guy is just crumbling inside. And gameplay-wise, there seem to be a lot of different sections. You've got puzzle solving, you got third-person shooting people or combat, and it's got that low-budget AAA look to it, and sometimes these types of games end up being really special. I'm surprised I had not heard about it until now. And to close the week, Payday 2 is coming to the Switch. You could already rob banks with your buddies on pretty much every platform, so now you can also do that on the Switch. And we close this video with a couple of releases that don't have a set date yet, so go away, calendar. Goodbye. Thank you for your help. First up, the Battlefield 1 DLC, Apocalypse Hang On. Wasn't that the Stellaris DLC as well? Huh. Funny. The DLC is bringing new maps, weapons, you know, the usual stuff. And also sometime in February, we have Them's Fighting Herds. What if someone set out to make a serious fighting game, a serious anime fighter, but all the characters are deers? That's this game. And that's it for February. Exciting month? Let me know in those comments down below. What are you playing in February? Check out some of our other stuff on the channel. Maybe you missed something in January, so maybe you should rewatch that video. But thank you for watching this one. I've been Globku, and I'll see you guys next time. Boy.